Hi everyone. Today I decided to record a Christmas music tag. I seen this video over a month ago on the channel of Emily from Polysemic, and I only decided to record it now for reasons. I didn't even have a channel when I saw it and I really like it, and um so we're doing this. The creators of the tag are two channels, and it's Uncommon Reader and Beyond Books. I'm gonna tag them in the description, and let's start. The first song is Joy to the World, a book that brings you so much joy you wish the whole world would read it. I chose Pride and Prejudice because I simply love this book. I don't know how, it's not like one of my favorite books, but I just love this book. I love the characters. I like the way, I don't know, it makes me feel happy when I think about Pride and Prejudice. It makes me feel happy when I want to watch something cozy. I watch the movie. If I want to read something funny, I read the book. It's just perfect. I think it has one of the most I'm not a romance girl, but I think the couple here is so exciting to see. Like the romance is very exciting to see it being developed, and I just love it. It's amazing. Okay, next one, it's Let It Snow, a book that takes place in a snowy, cold environment. I chose two. None of them I have here with me, but the first one could be The Shining for obvious reasons. I remember I read this book a few years ago. I want to pick it up again, but it's in my mom's house and I have to find it. But I really like it. This thriller-ish. It's supernatural. There's also a movie about it, but I don't like the movie. So basically, The Shining is the story. Because I noticed that last video I didn't do very well on my review part, so I'm gonna try to review some books. I always think people know what I'm talking about, but sometimes they don't, and that's okay. So The Shining is thrillerish book that it is about basically a family that goes up to the mountains. I don't remember the city, I don't remember the state, but anyway, they go there to spend the winter season and they have to stay locked inside this hotel because the dad was hired to be to take care of the place while the place was closed for the winter and no one can come in or out because of the quantity of snow in the mountains and stuff, and crazy things happen during their stay. The dad is a wannabe writer and he's also an alcoholic, and yeah, not a very nice experience for the family. Let's put it this way. It's a very interesting book. I think a classic. The movie is a classic too, even though I don't like it. But I mean, it's the whole book. The whole story happens during winter, so there's a lot of snow. The second book that I chose that I also don't have here because it's at my mom's house is If I Stay, which is a teen romance about a girl called Mia, and she suffers an accident with her family during winter too in Oregon, and her parents, they are in a car crash. Her parents died. It's kind of not a spoiler. Her parents die and she's at a hospital with her brother. They are both in ICU and she's in a coma, and she starts seeing things outside her body. It's not like supernatural or anything, but she kind of wakes up outside her body. So she sees things happening in the hospital and she tries to find her brother. She sees that her grandparents are there, and the whole book is like flashbacks um, from her life before the accident and the scenes where she's at the hospital and she has to make a decision if she wants to die or not. It's a cute book. I read this over and over and over again during my school days. Every year I would read it in the winter. And I think, I don't know, I like Mia, the protagonist. I like the relationship that she has with her family. I think is cute that they are very different from each other, but they love each other so much. I don't think I would like Adam now, but at the time I also like it. Adam is this rock star wannabe that Mia meets during high school, and they fall in love, and the book also follows the story. I really like this book. It's very teen, but I don't know, it makes me happy and reminds me of winter, which is not Christmas season here in Brazil, but it's related. Next one is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. A book with a mean character or one that you just didn't like. Well, the next book I wanted to put it in a different category, but then I was thinking more about the story and I decided to put in this one because I don't hate one character, I hate all the characters. And it's one of my favorite books of all time just because I really hate all the characters and I still want to finish reading it, and is The Great Gatsby. I mean, this has like 1,000 movies made out of it. I forgot to say that If I Stay also has a movie, and they also have a lot of movies about this book. I just hate everyone. I mean, they are so annoying. Everyone is so annoying, especially Gatsby and Jesus Christ. I just hate everyone, but this is, I don't know, I love the way this book is written. So every time I pick it up, I don't want to stop, and I kind of only stops when I finish, even though I hate everyone and I wish everyone has like terrible ends, just like Gatsby. I really like this book, and I don't know why. Don't ask me why. But yeah, this is a new edition that I got from my cousin. I never read it. Apparently, it has some nice, cute illustrations. I really want to reread it next year because, again, this is one of my favorite books of all time, and I don't remember much details about the book, so I should read it. I'm sorry about the noise. Yeah, São Paulo is a very, very noisy city, and I'm trying to record at night because it's less noise, but okay, the next one is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, a book releasing soon you can wait to read. So, a confession, I am not a up-to-date girl, so I don't really follow what's coming out because I try to read everything that I have in my bookshelf, and some books I have like for years and years and years and years. And some other books that I buy are from thrift shops or like Amazon recommendations, and most of the time it's not news. So I don't really follow the publishing industry, and I don't follow that many book content creators to know what's coming out or not. But I really tried not to say anything about this until now. One book that I noticed that I know is going to be released next year on March is Sunrise on the Reaping. the new prequel of the Hunger Games universe. I really try not to talk about it. I know, like, it looks like it's my whole personality now, but it's not, I promise. But I know that this book is coming out next year. I already bought my edition in the pre-sale thing. I forgot the name now, but I already bought it. I'm really excited. But this is the only book that I know that is going to be released next year, and I'm sorry. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm gonna say a book that I have on my bookshelf that I'm really excited to read next year. And it's not a new book or anything, okay? But I never read it. It's Daisy Jones and the Six. I am really excited to read it. I'm also really excited to watch the TV series on Prime Video. I don't know much about it. I know that this book is about a band that was very famous back in the 70s. But they were in the peak of fame or something, and then the main singers, they had a fight and the band is over, and apparently, I don't know if they had an affair or if it was an official relationship, but they had something. And I think the book is supposed to tell their story. And I heard someplace that this is a little inspired by Fleetwood Mac. I really like them. So I'm sorry for the terrible review, but I know there's something about like people from the band hooking up and breaking up and also ending the band. I am excited to read though. So I cheated, and this is the book that I'm gonna read soon, and I'm very excited, if you don't count Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. The next one is 12 Days of Christmas, a book of short stories. So I brought two, also cheating. But the first one, it's a Brazilian short story book that are like fairy tale retellings, but dark. They're not like adults, but they are a little creepy. And it would be like Snow of the Dead and the Seven Zombies, something like it. I looked for it and I didn't find it in English, but I decided to bring it here because I really like this book. Once I bought it like 7 years ago, I reread it a few times, and every beginning of new story has an illustration. Well, it's basically that, like you have the famous fairy tale stories told in a very macabre way. So the first one, of course, is the Snow White, and the seven dwarves are actually seven zombies, and she comes back from hell to haunt her evil stepmother. We also have one here with Rapunzel, that the Sleeping Beauty, where the story is basically the same, but people think she is asleep when they put her in a coffin, but she actually, she kind of is asleep, but she's locked inside her body, and she can feel and hear everything, but she can't move, and she can't open her eyes. And over the centuries and decades and stuff, people take advantage of her, and so she loses one of her fingers, she suffers cuts and stuff, and she feels everything, but she cannot do anything about it. And she ends the story basically being a piece in a museum, people going there and taking pictures and stuff. I think this is a story that marked me the most because it's way too bizarre. There's one story here. This story. I hope it's not very graphic. But anyway, yeah, this is the type of shit people do to her, and she feels everything. So yeah, this is a book that I really like. And the second one that I chose are, I mean, any Sherlock Holmes story, because they're more of short novels, and I love all of them. This book is part of a collection that I have of 4 books with all the Sherlock Holmes stories. Like, I love all these books so much. I mean, I was so happy when I got this whole box because I just love it. I have a few other editions of this book, of this sum of books of Sherlock Holmes, lost in my bookshelf, on my Kindle. This is just so perfect. I mean, I love Sherlock Holmes. I like this type of mystery story. I also like Agatha Christie a lot too. In this murder mystery stories where you have to guess who is the killer and why, and it's short, so if you read a lot of them, you feel like you read, a bunch of books, but they are just short stories, and I don't know, they are amazing. Love it. If you don't, like, you've never read any Sherlock Holmes story, please just try one, because this is so perfect. Anyway, the next one is The Little Drummer Boy, a book that brings back childhood memories. I chose one that I don't have anymore, thank God, that is Divergent. It's not necessarily childhood, but it could be. I mean, also Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes could be on this song, but I chose Divergent. I hated it, but I remember reading it when I was like in 6th grade, and I used to call my best friend at the time every afternoon after school, and we would spend literally the whole afternoon on the phone talking until the phone ran out of battery. And I was reading the trilogy at the time, and I was with her on the phone, like she was doing her thing, and I was reading, and every now and then I would stop and tell her what was happening. It was between the releasing of the Divergent movie and Insurgent movie, so I was reading the whole series, and she wanted to know what was happening. So I would tell her, like, make a summary, or sometimes I would just read out loud. And I remember very specifically the end of the trilogy when I started reading it. And I had a terrible habit of looking the last page of the book. And then I was with her on the phone, and I read the last page, and it basically says a little bit of what happens with the protagonist, like it's a prologue, and everything that happens in Chicago and Theo 4 and stuff, and then you kind of know what happens with the protagonist, that is Tris. And then I read it, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And then she was like, what happened? And then I told her, and she was like, no, I also can't believe that. So I went back a few pages, and then I read everything, the whole prologue, and I was like, I can't believe I'm going to have been reading like almost 1,000 pages at this point, and I was about to start a 3rd book. I was like, I can't believe I'm reading all of this for this ending. Like, I was pissed, I was furious, and she was like, no, now I have to finish it because I want to know what happened. And then I finally finished it. I hated the series just by saying it. Insurgent was a book very hard for me to keep going, and I only kept going because of her, because every afternoon we were talking, and she was like, oh yeah, I have to read it a little bit, have to read at least a chapter a day. But I thought that Insurgent was really, really, really slow and almost pointless. I don't remember the details, I just remember my thoughts. And then I don't even know the name of the 3rd one in English, but anyway, the 3rd one was, I was already beyond myself at the point, and then when I read the ending, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But like, I had to finish. I did. I hated. And I also had the fourth book, that is a book of four short stories from four's perspective, four or three stories. um One is before the main series, I think the second is during the main series, and the third, the last one, is after. And I mean, what a waste of time. But anyway, um the next one is Deck the Halls, a book that has a party scene or takes place over a holiday. And I chose another book that I don't have here, Breaking Dawn, the last book of the Twilight Saga. I was a little uninspired by this one. I like all the books that I mentioned here. Not all, but like the majority of them, they have a party scene, if I may cheat. But then I thought about coming up with something different, and then I don't know, this was the book that came to mind. It's the book where Bella and Edward, they get married, and everything after that is a whole nightmare that I won't even begin to discuss. The next and last one is Frosty the Snowman, a book with a character that is cold or calculating. I chose Sharp Objects, that I don't have here. It's at my mom's house. Because I think it's a code book, basically. And I mean, I recently rewatched the TV show, and I cannot remember the name of a single character. I'm so sorry. But anyway, this book follows a journalist that goes back to her hometown in the south of the United States. Don't ask me the name of the Windy Gap or something is the name of the city. It's south, and she goes there to investigate the murder or this missing of a little girl. And then when she goes there, she finds out that another girl is missing, and then she stays there to do the journalist thing. And then she has to reconnect with her mom, her stepdad, and then her little sister that I don't remember if she knew her before or only by pictures. But anyway, she has to go there, and this is kind of her personal hell. And she's a very complex character, a complicated character. Her mom is basically Madam Satan on Earth. So it's a very interesting and kind of a cold book, I guess. Not only because of the story around Camille going to Winnie Gap, but also the relationship that she has with her mom, with her sister, with her stepdad, with herself. So I think everyone's code to each other with their reasons. And I think it's a very interesting book. I read it 2 years ago. I want to read it again. I just have to find it. And this wraps the video. I hope you guys like it. And I know it's kind of Christmas already, but if you really like it and you want to record it, do it, please, and tag the creators. I think this is a nice tag to get to know each other. I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, an awesome New Year. I don't know how you guys celebrate it, so if you want to leave it in the comments, I'll be very happy to read. And I also want to thank everyone for the likes in my previous videos and the comments. It made me really happy. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.